In this video, we will discuss about blood supply of the heart. First, we will discuss the arteries of the heart and then we will discuss venous drainage. The heart is supplied arterial blood by two arteries termed as right and left coronary arteries. They are given name coronary because they form an inverted crown on the surface of the heart, between which lies the anastomotic circles. The blood flows through these arteries during the diastole of the heart. The diameter of the arteries varies from 1.5 to 5.5 mm. Usually, left coronary artery is of larger caliber compared to the right. Though anatomical anastomosis exists between the right and left coronary arteries, functionally they are end arteries because if one artery gets blocked, the other artery or an anastomosis is not able to compensate for the blockage. The origin of posterior interventricular branch determines the dominance of the heart. The posterior interventricular branch in 60% of the individuals arise from the right coronary artery. That's why in 60% of individuals, right coronary is known as dominant artery. Sympathetic stimulation dilates the intramuscular arteries and constricts the epicardial arteries. In the ascending aorta, there are three dilatation which are called as aortic sac. These are anterior aortic sac, left posterior aortic sac and right posterior aortic sac. The right coronary artery arises from the anterior aortic sac and is small in caliber compared to the left coronary artery. After arising, it goes forwards and to the right to emerge on the surface of the heart between this root of the pulmonary trunk and right auricle. It then runs downwards in the right anterior coronary sulcus at the junction of right and inferior border of heart. Right coronary artery winds around the inferior border of the heart and reach the diaphragmatic surface. Here it runs backwards and to the left in right posterior coronary sulcus to reach the posterior interventricular groove. It ends at the crux of the heart by anastomosing with the circumflex branch of the left coronary artery. The branches of right coronary artery includes the right conus artery, atrial branches, ventricular branches, right marginal artery, posterior interventricular branches, septal branch and recurrent atrioventricular branches. The right conus artery forms an arterial circle around the pulmonary trunk along with left conus artery. This circle is called as annulus of Vuesens. The atrial branches are in three groups: anterior, posterior and lateral. One of the anterior atrial branch is large and goes to supply the SA node, which is called as SA nodal artery, which arises from the right coronary artery in about 60% of cases, and in about 35% of cases it arises from circumflex branch of left coronary artery. In about 36% of cases, right conus artery arises directly from the aortic sac, anterior aortic sac. In such cases, it is termed as third coronary artery. Ventricular branches are in two groups, anterior and posterior. The anterior group lies on the sternocostal surface of the heart, whereas posterior group lies on the diaphragmatic surface of the heart. The right marginal branch traverses along the inferior border of the heart up to the apex. and posterior interventricular branch arises close to the crux of the heart. It lies in the posterior interventricular groove. Apart from this, the septal branches arises from the posterior interventricular branch. It supplies the posterior one-third of the interventricular septum and AV node. And the last sort of branches are the recurrent atrioventricular branches, which crosses the atrioventricular groove and supply the myocardium. The area of distribution of right coronary artery includes whole of the right atrium, the greater part of right ventricle except area adjoining anterior interventricular groove, small part of left ventricle adjoining posterior interventricular groove, posterior one-third of interventricular septum, and greater part of the conducting system of the heart except left branch of AV bundle. In about 35 to 40% of cases, the SA node is supplied by left coronary artery. Let us now discuss the left coronary artery. It is larger in caliber compared to the right coronary artery. Arises from the left posterior aortic sinus of the aorta. After arising, it runs down forwards and laterally between the pulmonary trunk and left auricle and reaches the atrioventricular groove. Here it divides into two main branches, anterior interventricular branch and circumflex branch. The anterior interventricular branch descends in the anterior interventricular groove and reaches the apex. In one-third of cases, it ends at the apex, whereas in the majority of the remaining cases, it winds around and goes posteriorly. Circumflex branch runs to the left in the left anterior coronary sulcus. It winds around the left border of heart. Then it runs into the left posterior coronary sulcus. And near the posterior interventricular groove, it ends by anastomosing with the right coronary artery. Anterior interventricular branch in majority of the cases terminates by anastomosing with the posterior interventricular branch of the right coronary artery. The main branches of anterior interventricular artery are anterior ventricular branches, left conus branch, and septal arteries. Among the anterior ventricular branches, which are 3 to 9 in number, one branch is larger, and this branch may arise from the left coronary trunk. In such case, left coronary artery may appear trifurcated, right? So that large branch which may arise from the left coronary trunk is known as diagonal artery, which is present in about 33 to 50% of the cases. The septal branch supplies anterior two-thirds of the interventricular septum, and the left conus artery forms an arterial ring along with the right conus artery around the pulmonary trunk. The branches of circumflex artery are marginal artery, ventricular branches, and atrial branches. Sometimes circumflex artery also gives sinoatrial nodal branch and posterior interventricular artery. The marginal branch of the circumflex artery, also called as left marginal artery, runs along the left border of the heart till the apex. In coronary bypass surgery, the graft is anastomosed usually with the left marginal artery distal to the site of obstruction. Ventricular branches are of two sets, anterior and posterior, whereas atrial branches are of three sets, anterior, posterior, and lateral. One of the atrial branch from the circumflex artery may anastomose with the atrial branch from the right coronary artery across the anterior wall of atrium. Such anastomotic branch from the circumflex artery is called as Kugel's artery. Sinoatrial nodal branch, which we have discussed, usually arises from the right coronary artery, but as a variation, in about 35% of cases, it arises directly from the circumflex branch, goes to the right, winds around the superior vena cava, and then it will supply the SA node. In about 10% of the cases, this continuation of the circumflex branch will be as a posterior interventricular artery. In such cases, septal branch of the left coronary will supply the AV node. The area of distribution of left coronary artery includes whole of the left atrium, greater part of the left ventricle except area adjoining posterior interventricular groove, and a very small part of right ventricle at the area adjoining anterior interventricular groove. It also supplies anterior part of interventricular septum and a part of left branch of AV bundle. This cardiac anastomosis between two coronary arteries may open up if one of the coronary artery gets blocked. But if both the coronary arteries gets blocked, there are other extra cardiac anastomosis which may open up to compensate for the blood loss. In such extra cardiac anastomosis, the coronary arteries may anastomose with the vasa vasorum of aorta, vasa vasorum of the pulmonary arteries, of internal thoracic artery, bronchial arteries, and pericardiophrenic arteries. The applied aspect of the coronary arteries include myocardial infarction, angina pectoris, coronary angiography, angioplasty, and coronary bypass. The thrombosis of coronary arteries is one of the common cause of the sudden death in the individuals past the middle age. Such thrombosis leads to the myocardial ischemia and infarction as well as ventricular fibrillation. Incomplete obstruction of the coronary arteries, usually due to the spasm of the arteries, causes angina pectoris. In angina pectoris, there is pain in the precordial region which may radiate to the medial side of the left arm and forearm. The pain usually gets relieved by placing sorbitol tablets below the tongue. The procedure to visualize the site of narrowing or occlusion of the coronary arteries or their branches is named as coronary angiography. Angioplasty is the procedure to remove the small blockage inside the coronary artery. This angioplasty is done using small stent or small inflated balloon which is passed through the catheter upward via femoral artery. Coronary bypass surgery is used when there is a large block or there are multiple blocks inside the coronary artery. In bypass surgeries, great saphenous vein or internal thoracic artery can be used as a graft. Let us now discuss the venous drainage of the heart. About 60% of the venous blood of the heart drains into the right atrium via this channel called as coronary sinus, and about 40% of the vein drains into the different chambers of the heart via small veins called as vena cordis minimi and anterior cardiac veins. We will first discuss the large venous channel, that is coronary sinus, and then we will discuss about anterior cardiac veins and vena cordis minimi. So the coronary sinus is a wide venous channel about 2 to 3 cm long, situated into the posterior part of atrioventricular groove. As I have discussed, it receives about 60% venous blood of the heart. If we discuss the course of coronary sinus, it begins in the left part of the atrioventricular groove, where it receives this vein called as great cardiac vein. Then it passes downwards and to the right along the posterior part of atrioventricular groove, and in this groove it is related with the anastomosis between right and left coronary artery. So finally, sinus opens into the right atrium. Over here, between the openings of inferior vena cava and right atrioventricular opening or right atrioventricular orifice. The opening of the sinus is guarded from below by an incomplete semilunar valve. The tributaries of this coronary sinus are the great cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, small cardiac vein, the posterior vein of the left ventricle, and oblique vein of left atrium. All these 5 tributaries are guarded by valve except the oblique vein of left atrium. The great cardiac vein begins near the apex of the heart, ascends upwards into the anterior interventricular groove, winds around the left border of heart, and ultimately opens into the coronary sinus. Before opening into the coronary sinus, it receives the left marginal vein. The middle cardiac vein also begins near the apex, but it runs into the posterior interventricular groove and opens into the coronary sinus more near to its right end. The small cardiac vein lies into the atrioventricular groove and it opens at the right end of the coronary sinus. Small cardiac vein receives this vein called as right marginal vein. The posterior vein of left ventricle drains the inferior surface of the left ventricle and opens into the coronary sinus left to the opening of middle cardiac vein. The oblique vein of left atrium is a very small vein which drains the venous blood from the posterior surface of left atrium. It opens into the coronary sinus near its left end. Upper end of this oblique vein is connected with the left superior intercostal vein by a fibrous strand. Having discussed the coronary sinus and its tributaries, we will now discuss the anterior cardiac veins and vena cordis minimi. Anterior cardiac veins are 3 to 4 in number. They drain the infundibulum of right ventricle and open directly into the right atrium. Vena cordis minimi are numerous small veins which are present in all the four chambers of the heart, but they are more numerous on the right side or right chambers of the heart compared to the left side. As the coronary sinus is encircled by myocardium, as per the Batson's circulation, in case of the obstruction of coronary arteries, the regurgitation of the blood inside the coronary sinus may irrigate the encircling or surrounding myocardium. There is widespread anastomosis at all the levels of cardiac circulation. The adjacent veins also shows the anastomosis. Apart from it, connections also exist between the tributaries of coronary sinus and anterior cardiac veins. Near the apex of the heart, this anastomosis is abundant, and like arteries, veins of the heart are also connected with the extracardiac vessels, mainly with the vasa vasorum of the large vessels. Having discussed the arterial supply and venous drainage of the heart, we will now discuss the conducting system of heart. The conducting system of the heart is made up of specialized cardiac myocytes which connect certain pacemaker areas of the heart to the ordinary cardiac myocytes. This connection speeds up the wave of excitation. The conducting system of the heart includes SA node, AV node, bundle of His, its right and left branches, and Purkinje fibers. The SA node is known as pacemaker of the heart. It initiates the heartbeat and generates the impulses at the rate of 70 to 100 per minute. It is located at the at atriocaval junction in the upper part of sulcus terminalis. After originating from here, impulse traverses through the atrial wall and reaches to the AV node. The AV node is smaller than SA node. It is located in the lower and dorsal part of the atrial septum inside the triangle of Koch. This triangle of Koch is bounded above by the tendon of Todero, below by the opening of coronary sinus, and in front by the base of septal cusp of the tricuspid valve. It is capable of generating impulses at the rate of 40 to 60 beats per minute. The atrioventricular bundle or AV bundle of His begins from the anteroinferior part of AV node, runs through a tunnel in the right fibrous trigone, and reach the upper border of the muscular portion of this interventricular septum. Near this upper border, it divides into its right and left branches. The right branch of AV bundle passes to the right of interventricular septum, enters majority of its portion enters this structure is called as moderator band, and then it goes to the wall of the right ventricle, and it divides into the Purkinje fibers and distributes and gets distributed to the wall of the ventricle. The left branch of heavy bundle runs to the left of the interventricular septum, divides into the Purkinje fibers and gets distributed onto the wall of the left ventricle. The Purkinje fibers form a subendocardial plexus. They are striated fibers near their border, double nucleated, and capable of generating impulses at the rate of 25 to 30 beats per minute. Any abnormality or disturbance in the conducting system of the heart leads to the various types of arrhythmia, which means disturbance in the normal rhythm of the heart. As whole of the conducting system except left branch of AV bundle is supplied by right coronary artery, any vascular lesion to the right coronary artery can lead to the arrhythmia.